Emmanuel will be coming your way as well. And then at 10, Inside, Lawrence Omoite would hit your airwaves. From up north Egypt, where we're hearing stories again of inflation forecast climbing really high this month. Remember, it was last week that we gave you the report here on News Across Africa of how that a Reuters poll of analysts has found that Egypt's annual headline inflation is forecast to have increased further in May. Well, State Statistics Agency have released the latest figures, and it shows very clearly that the inflation really did go up in Egypt. Well, it seems like very turbulent times across the world, because we're hearing reports of inflation here, inflation there. Nigeria is not exempted, or exempt rather, and a lot of other countries are not exempt. Well, back to Egypt now. They're saying that the increase is primarily due to an unfavorable base effect, with some residual impact from energy price hikes. That energy price hikes was recorded in April, mid-April particularly, and that affected the inflation. The increase on a range of fuel products by almost 15% was in line with commitments sought by the IMF about $8 billion. Okay, and now to other stories. Still up north. Let's just take stories from north, and then we move down to other parts of Africa. So, reports have it that land convoy have left Tunisia for Gaza in an effort to break Israel's siege. So, hundreds of volunteers left Tunisia yesterday in a land convoy, and they're headed towards Gaza, hoping to break Israel's blockade on the territory. The convoy, that's the land convoy, was tagged Somod. It means steadfastness in Arabic. I hope I pronounced that right. Well, it was aimed to alleviate the sufferings of besieged Gaza residents and to show support for the Palestinian cause. Several Tunisian organizations participated in the initiative, including youth groups as well. Yahya Shalabi, who is head of We Run Nabil Running Club, spoke on the matter, and he said, "This is a noble initiative to raise youth awareness, to say that we are conscious youth and we deliver our message in a noble way, and may God help our brothers in Gaza." Well, the convoy left Tunis with its members, including doctors. We had lawyers on the convoy, we had activists, and of course journalists from all around North Africa. These are the people who are giving us the stories as they're dropping. I'm talking about the journalists. All have in mind the fate of the Madeleine aid boat, boarded by activists including Swedish climate advocate Greta Thunberg, and Franco-Palestinian European Parliament member Rima Hassan. It was a full one. Israel intercepted the ship on Monday morning as its passengers attempted to bring aid to Gaza. And in response to that, Tunisians are saying they're going there to help the situation, at least to the degree that they can. And it's all peaceful so far. Love and light their way. Around the world, Africa included, and coastal communities and fisheries are getting a bit of good attention. Yes, because European Union Commission President Ursula von der Leyen announced very recently a €1 billion investment plan to protect oceans and to support coastal communities and fisheries under a new pact. In fact, she was quoted as saying there is a funding shortfall to support ocean conservation, to support ocean science and sustainable fishing. And as a result, Europe is taking a zero tolerance approach to illegal practices. We're taking zero tolerance. We want to stop the criminals moving between neighboring countries. And she also added that the EU will develop regional partnership in the Mediterranean and West Africa and in the Pacific. Speaking at the United Nations Ocean Conservation Summit in Nice, the French city of Nice, that was yesterday, she said the funds will go to 50 different projects around the world, and it'll focus on reducing plastic pollution. It will focus on restoring maritime ecosystems and also renewing an aging fleet, and also fight against illegal fishing. Remember the news yesterday about Congo and EU, about how that Congo is saying that they want to revisit the agreement that they've had since the last 18 years with the EU, where fishery, the EU comes into the country, just fish in their waters and pack whatever they get out of the water right to Europe. They don't stop for processing, they don't stop for anything. It's just from water to their container all the way to Europe. Yeah, things like this would be addressed by this new move. She said that the EU will develop regional partnership in different parts of the world. In Europe, that's what she said, we will use our digital registration of fish catches to help prevent illegally caught fish from coming into the European Union. Well, French president echoed similar sentiments, and I'm talking about Emmanuel Macron, and he's urging European countries especially to follow commitments being made to safeguard the oceans. And now one wonders, is this because of the move that this African nation is making, or has this been in the works since? Because they're saying no more. Do not come to our waters to fish anymore unless we revisit the agreement, because the benefit we're getting is no match for the benefits that Europe or European countries are getting. So we're not doing that anymore. And now, a few hours later, we're hearing this report. Okay, and also it's worthy of note that this conference just comes as 2.7% of the ocean is effectively protected from destructive extractive activities. That's according to the non-profit Marine Conservation Institute. And you know what? Even this report is far below the target agreed under the 30-30 pledge within the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework to conserve at least 30% of Earth's land and ocean areas by the year 2030. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, more stories coming your way across Africa. It's Citizen FM 93.7.
Need a lift? Feeling low, bored, or confused?
Wants your dream to brightly glow?
Here is what to do.
Women's Corner is waiting just for you.
Education, work, lifestyle, career, mentorship, and family too.
We will tackle the issues, provide solutions, and see you through. Finding your voice, reaching high, and making an impact. Women's Corner, where knowledge can fly.
Join us every Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. for inspiring stories and practical advice to reach all your glories.
It's Women's Corner on Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja.
Woman don't suffer, lower everybody. Suffer, suffer, suffer. Enjoy forever.
Oya o my people, make una come gather here. Which kind tori una wan hear on top radio? Wetin dey catch fire on top social media? Bring am on top Make We Talk Am for Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Monday go reach Thursday, and the time na 5:10 wey be 10 minutes after 5. Make we talk am as e dey be.
FM 93.7, 7:47, and that's what the time is. Just sheer coincidence. But I like the rhyme of numbers, 937, 7:47 a.m. Okie dokie. So we're just taking stories from across Africa. Be doing that since 7:30. We'll do that until 8, and then when we are done at 8, we'll be switching things up and taking headlines across Nigeria. We've seen stories from Egypt, from Tunisia to Kenya. So the report from Kenya is that several police officers have been suspended. Why were they suspended? A man died in custody under suspicious circumstances, and that has sort of prompted a national outcry, and an independent investigation has even begun into the matter. It was a very sad situation when Albert Ojwang, who's a teacher and a blogger, was arrested just over the weekend on Friday in Homa Bay, following a complaint by Kenya's Deputy Police Chief Louis Laga. Albert Ojwang was accused of defamation on social media. We're not just mentioning that he was because he's dead. He was a blogger. So we have lots of who accused him of defamation. So instead of being processed locally, Ojwang was transported to Nairobi. Remember I mentioned that he was arrested in Homa Bay, one of the very small cities in the western part of Kenya, and he was transported all the way to Nairobi. People who know these routes know that we're talking several hundreds of kilometers away. Well, he was held during a routine cell inspection, and he was declared dead on arrival at a nearby hospital. The thing now is that human rights groups have said, no, that is not possible. How could this happen? So they've cast serious doubt on the version of this event that the police released. Irungu Hilton, who is director of Amnesty International Kenya, was quoted as saying this death is very serious, and he has called for a thorough, independent investigation into Ojwang's treatment while he was in custody and what led up to his death. Amnesty International also questioned the legality of transferring a detainee over such distance after he was booked in locally. I mean, he was arrested in the city, and then he was literally, it was like someone had been arrested in one of the states and moved all the way to Abuja, you know. So in response to the growing backlash, the IGP of Kenya, Douglas Kanja, confirmed that all officers on duty at the Nairobi station during